campus. So glad you're here. Woo! Woo!
Good morning, Unity.
There's a hope that preys on a world that strays so far from the garden. And just like your own, every heart you know seems cold and hardened. You may not have the stage, but you still have a voice. You may not have the strength, but if you have a choice, I dare you to love. Oh, I dare you to love. Even if you hurt, you can only see the worst. Even if you think it's not enough. Oh, I dare you to love. We're all full of hope, trying to stay afloat, trying to save one another. People let you drown 'cause they don't know how to stay above water. When they're too broken to know what they've put you through. Do the only thing that you've once done to you. I dare you to love. Oh, I dare you to love. Even if you hurt, you can only see the worst. Even if you think it's not enough. Oh, I dare you to You may not have the stage, but you still have a voice. You may not have the strength, but if you have a choice, I dare you to love. Even if you can't know, I dare you to love. Even if you hurt, you can only see the worst. Even if you think it's not enough. Oh, I dare you. Oh, I dare you to love.
Incredible, yes? Lisa Nadeau Salvi, yes, I'm ready to dare to love. What about you? Absolutely, yes. So welcome to the most energetic, electrifying, innovative, spiritual community in the world. Just step on in that. I mean, we either go big or go home, you know. Aren't you ready for our teaching across the globe to be known throughout the world? I mean, if Tupperware is well known, couldn't Unity be well known? I mean, really, hello? We are so blessed. I know, I don't know who that came from. Somebody's downloading this morning and channeling through my body. That's what's going on. But welcome to the place where there's no guilt. Oh, wow. There's no shame. And if you're over 30, please stop blaming your parents, or please stop blaming anyone. Stand in that inner power and command and demand that greater aspects of your life are still being revealed right now. Are you with me? Absolutely. Thank you, the two of you that are with us today. I greatly appreciate that. Yes. Would you take a moment to stand and let us state our great invocation, please? We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. We acknowledge thy presence and thy power, O blessed Spirit. In thy divine wisdom, now erase our mortal limitations, and from thy pure substance of love, bring into manifestation our world according to thy perfect law, a law that is always working. And the easiest way to remember that is you step into a new space and you don't carry anything behind you with you today, and you allow the wisdom to carry you. Here at First Unity, it's also Friendship Sunday, so we greet all of you from around the world. We're featured in over 45 countries, and we love it when you just let us know where you're from and where you're tuning in. And so our mission and vision is what guides this ministry and this work with so many leaders that we have here. Please join me together, whether you're at home or are here as our group. Our mission is we inspire, ignite, and invigorate ourselves to pave our spiritual path. And our vision is we envision a world that gives, embraces, embodies, and expresses unity. Wow. Let's hold that, shall we? We want you to join us at any time at firstunity.org. And when we are live with any event, it will come right up on our homepage, on our website. We also have our new phone app. It's available at Google Play or Apple App Store, and there's a place to watch us throughout the week. And I tell you, this app, it does everything but serve you food. It's really, really powerful. I know I'm glad I didn't become a comedian. I'm working on it. And so what we have done, because we want to create more leadership across the country and within ourselves, we have created a wonderful online university, illy.org. So whether you want to take one class or whether you want to take a series of classes or you want to develop as a leader, we have illy.org. Please check us out.
See, Billy got picked on in school for things he couldn't change. He tried to do his best to cool, but in the 7th grade, you either fit right in or you don't fit. That's just a cold hard truth. And I wish that I'd have been the friend that Billy never knew. I think it's time to come together. You and I can make a change. Maybe we can make a difference, make the world a better place. Look around and love somebody. We've been hateful long enough. Let the good Lord reunite us to this country that He loves, undivided.
You either go to church or you're gonna go to hell. Get a good job or you're gonna go to jail. I just wish we didn't think like that. Why they gotta be all white or all black? We're gonna learn to try somebody else's shoes sometime. When we gonna start to see from someone else's eyes?
I think it's time to come together, you and I, to make a change. Maybe we can make a difference, make the world a better place. Look around and love somebody. We've been hateful long enough. Let the good Lord reunite us to this country that we love, undivided. Oh yeah, undivided. Oh yeah, we're all saved to God no matter what we get is love. I'm tired of looking
job, work, or you're gonna go to jail. Wish we didn't think like that. Why gotta be all black? I don't know.
Sometimes we find ourselves divided right within ourselves, don't we? We find ourselves boxed in. We put ourselves in those boxes. Sometimes I think that our limiting beliefs are our boxes in life. What does that do for us? Our limiting beliefs that I'm just not good enough, or I'm not important enough, or I need to be better. Those limiting beliefs become boxes for us. We put ourselves in those boxes, and what does that become? It becomes our comfort zone, doesn't it? Sometimes when we fail, we don't reach the heights we were reaching for, we say, well, that's okay, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Because we allow ourselves to get comfortable in our box. If you've ever had a cat, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Those cats get in that box and they are so comfortable in there, it's hard to get them out of that. You practically have to tear the box apart to get the cat to come out of it and not go back in it. Because you get comfortable in that box. So are you allowing yourself to be comfortable in a box? Allowing it to be your excuse for not being. Not being fabulous. Because we are all divine children of God. And we are all fabulous. Don't allow yourself that box to be comfortable, to become your excuse for not being all that you are and all that you can be. You know I've shared with you all many times that I have a lot of cousins. And when we go over to Mama's house, Mama had this wonderful hill that we all loved. And Mama would save boxes for us because we would take those cardboard boxes and break them open and slide down that hill. There is nothing more freeing than a child sliding down a hill on a cardboard box. The world is yours, and you can experience such joy and happiness sliding down that hill on a box. So I'm going to challenge you today. Break open your box and slide down that hill that God has given you. Slide down that hill and don't allow yourself to get caught up in being in that comfortable box. Go ahead and break free of it, break it open and slide down that hill. And I promise all the good that is for you is coming to you. So don't get caught up in that box. Allow your freedom and allow yourself to be all that you were meant to be.
Amen.
And make a difference in the world? Ready to follow your soul's mission? If you have been looking for a sign towards a new direction in life, the Institute for Leadership and Lifelong Learning may be just the path you've been looking for. With a spiritual leadership program that provides guidance and a clear path for those who are called, ILLI offers a unique and empowering opportunity of growth and empowerment. Fully embodying the role of a spiritual leader requires you to be present for your own life so that you can serve and guide others. Freeing yourself from your own self-limiting thoughts and behaviors is a must if you seek to be a beacon of light and hope to others along their journey. As an ILLI ordained spiritual leader, you will be invited to continue on your path of learning with our institute and beyond. Graduates of our program may become teachers or faculty, mentors or coaches with ILLI, and the licensing we provide will provide you with many options to become a difference maker in the world.
Welcome to a musical moment in Black history. This week, we feature 2 songs. I'm Gonna Lay Down My Burdens, which is also known as Down by the Riverside, and Michael, row your boat ashore. Many spirituals derived from the Freedom Trails had dual meanings. See if you can decipher the messages from these two spirituals. I present to you Wanda Nero Butler and the First Unity Voices.
I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside. Oh, down by the riverside. Oh, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside. Oh, and study war no more. I ain't gonna 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 study war no more. I'm not gonna study war no more. Oh, study war no more. So Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Because I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside. Oh, down by the riverside. Oh, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside. And I'll study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I can't keep fighting war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I can't meditate on it war no more. I gotta free my mind. Study war no more. So Michael, please row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Come on, Michael, and row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. I got to get on board. Hallelujah, Michael, row your boat ashore. Hallelujah. Glory, glory. Hallelujah.
Hello everyone, I hope you're good. My name is Sylvain Pascal. I'm a young entrepreneur of 19 years old. So I run a digital marketing agency and we do also influence marketing. So I work, for example, with Deepak Chopra for the Never Alone movement, a suicide prevention movement. And so I help him, for example, with his social media. I work with a lot of brands in France and Europe to help them on their social media and marketing and all digital stuff like that. So I went to First Unity like 1 year ago, and I wanted to talk to you about it because it was truly an amazing experience. I really love it because like it was so warm, like everybody was joyful. You can feel really like the happiness, the joy of the people, and especially of Reverend Temple, who was amazing. And so I really like it. Like everybody like of our origin, our culture was there, like unit. So really I think that everybody need to at least try one time to go to First Unity because it's an amazing experience, and Reverend Temple is amazing too.
Wow, what a blessing those videos were. Wow, they just moved me in the spirit. Take a deep breath in. Put both your feet on the floor. Ground yourself, ground your spirit, ground your energy, ground the source that's within you. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Continue to breathe in that relaxation of God. This is February, the month of love. This is February, Black History Month. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and be proud that you're a part of a spiritual campus that celebrates Black history. Breathe in and breathe out. I ask you during Black History Month to take Valentine's and share that love of God with your Black brothers and sisters, whether it be at work or even a stranger that you see in a fast food restaurant or a store. I love the fact that I share a family of mixed races. I just was speaking to one of my nieces yesterday, and I said, I think I have more Black cousins than I have white cousins. And I love that. Breathe in and breathe out. Love our differences, but love also that we have less differences than the human mind or human eye sees. Breathe in and get in tune with the God that's within you. The God of love. That God knows no other except to love you and love humanity. Breathe in and exhale. Know that when you're breathing in, that you're receiving the kiss from the universe. The kiss from the God that created you. And I often say, God loves you so much that the universal stars were thrown into the galaxy to shine light upon you every night, whether you know it or not. So breathe in that love and exhale. And I challenge you this week to breathe in that love continually, but exhale it and share it to those around you. And so it is.
There's nowhere in the world that I would rather be than with you, my friend.
And there's nothing in the world I would rather see than your smile that shines from within.
For united we stand, divided we fall. Should ever be against the wall, we'll be together, you and I. For united we stand. together, together, you and I. Oh, united we stand, divided we fall. And if our back should ever be against the wall, we'll be together, together, you and I.
What an amazing team we have. Yes, they're just absolutely so phenomenal. And the video honoring Black History Month, oh my, what a blessing. And what a gift we have prepared for you on the last Sunday of the month, I'm telling you. Don't wear shoes that Sunday. So Peter Russell, physicist and spiritual teacher, was known in his life to have an answering machine that when you would call him, it would say, "This is not an answering machine. It is a questioning machine. Who are you and what do you want?" And then there would be a space. And then his voice would go on to say, "You may think that that's a trivial question. However, most people come on earth and leave this earth and never answer those two questions. Who are you and what do you want?" Who are you and what do you want? I was thinking this week about how boxes bind us and how they get in our way of a reality. Simple things like, well, you know, this is the way I've always been. You know, this is how I am. Well, you know, what else do you expect from me? I'm doing the best I can. Oh, poor little you, doing the best you can. You've already disclaimed that connection to something that's greater than you are, yes? What are the boxes? As we're talking about, you know, honoring in Black History Month, what are the boxes that you have around that? What are boxes you have about same-sex marriages and relationships? You know, often people say, I'm comfortable with that as long as it's not anywhere in my world. I'm comfortable with that as long as I see it on TV, but I'm not necessarily comfortable when you bring it right home to me. Yes? What are your boxes? What are your boxes that you hold? That could it be addiction? We have many. And why do we need them? Because they bind us, because they hold us back. The best thing we can do in this life is we can create the circle. You know, a circle that expands to bring more and more in, a circle that expands that brings more love in, etc. I was thinking about at 1920 of taking the Lessons in Truth course from Emily Cady. And the first chapter says, freedom or bondage. Freedom or bondage. And I've never forgotten that. In what ways am I still moving forward to be free? Say that with me. In what ways am I still moving forward to be free? I'm either free or I'm in bondage. It's like straddling a fence. There's no in between. You're either on one side or the other. And it can be painful if you are focusing on the bondage things and not allowing yourself to change. And that's being in a box. I love what she said. I'm paraphrasing. That with every person, there comes a time when you totally surrender to the God of your creation, the God of your making, Lord, law. There comes a time when you realize it's really up to the two of those things within your life. You can be temporarily popular. You can have lots of followers on Facebook. You can have yada yada in social media. You can have stacked emails. But at the end of the day, your ability to be healthy, wealthy, living a vibrant life force is not because of popularity. It is because you are drawing from something that is greater than yourself. Does this work for you? Do you Do you agree? So let's think about some of those boxes. I have the good pleasure every Monday and Friday, yes I do, to get up extremely early and take Miracle, my 5-year-old, to school. And so what's so interesting is they told us the time that we are to arrive at 8:45, yes? And so we get there, it's 8:45, and I'm signing her in, and I go, well, where is everybody? Oh, well, it's Monday. Oh, okay, I thought we need to get them here at 8:45. Yeah, but you know it's Monday. And then on Friday, it's like, we're the only ones here. Yes, it's Friday. And I'm thinking to myself, this is American programming, isn't it? It's like we are creating these children to understand that we can lower our standards. Because of a day of the week, you know, it's not as significant as it is on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and all the other days. And what if the doctor comes to your surgery and goes, it's Monday, man. I'll get there when I get there, as you're laying there waiting for something to occur in your life. Why are we lowering our standards? And when did we cross over to a place in a box that says that we're supposed to apologize because we hold somebody to having them? Right? I mean, when the true teachers of metaphysics were out there, I mean, they hold people to a higher calling of do not lower your standards. Do not say, well, you know, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. And make excuses for yourself. No way. As I'm watching what she's going through in school, I'm like, well, that explains it as to why I was a recruiter. Do we stop from lowering our standards in relationship, in love, in friendship? We teach people how to treat us. We teach people. And if we're walking around in a box lowering our standards, guess what other people are doing when it comes to us? Guess what other people are doing in the energy around us, lowering their standards as well, yes? There was a philosophy professor, Ron Nash, that he was talking to the Russian scientist. And he said, you know, I understand that all your life you have been taught there's no such thing as a miracle. He said, but look at these two boxes. One of them is closed. And he said, those are the people like you that just live in the material world only. But look at this second box, and the top is open. These are people that, yes, they believe in the material world, they live in it, but on the other hand, they stay open for the intervention of God. I love that. Getting ready to have this wonderful, delicious, juicy intervention of God. Yes, you don't always need the sky to part and the big voice to come over you to have this awareness. Yes, to have this energetic presence. You know, the other thing that we have that is a box in our society is that we allow fear to stop us. We don't even spend the time to understand it. When we're facing something, when we're looking at something, we don't even necessarily ask ourselves, who are you and what do you want? We go, oh, I feel afraid. Oh, I feel this space of, yeah, I'm afraid. And we're letting it stop us without even really delving into it and asking it, what does it want? Asking it, why are you stopping me? And why is it important? Am I lowering my standard? Or is it because in societal belief it's acceptable that I can say I'm afraid of something? I can't tell you the number of people at the end of their lives, they're talking about the things that they were afraid of. If only they had that moment to fully soar and surge, what would that be like? Years ago, I was going to visit my brother. We were going to meet at my aunt and uncle's river house, and it's outside of Beaufort. And we're going way back to, I was in my middle 20s. Well, we're not going that far back, excuse me. But we're going back to a time that we weren't using mobile phones, that's for sure. And we're going back to a time that in order to get to my aunt and uncle's house, we had to count railroad tracks and 2 cotton fields. That's how out in the country that this place was on the water. And so I went there, and I was waiting for my brother and his family to come. And I called my mom from a landline. Yes, we had those now. Do y'all remember those? Those plastic box things that we called landlines. And so it was getting dark, and I had called my mom to say, well, where do you think Nelson is? I'm still waiting. I haven't seen him. And all of a sudden, the power in the whole house went out. And as I'm talking to Mom, yes, the phone got clipped, totally off. No longer working, bang, 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 bang. And my hair went straight off of my head. And I went, oh my gosh, somebody's here. And you know how your mind gets going? Oh, somebody's on the property. They found me way out here in the boonies. Oh my gosh, somebody's here. I was just getting so terrified. So what did I do? I went out on the wraparound porch and I said, here I am. And if you're going to take me, let's just go ahead and get it done. Let's just deal with it right now. Just get it over with. And the moment I did that, it all dissipated. It all went away. It was no longer an issue. You stand before it in your mighty energy. And it's a box that for so many people is such an excuse. And there's no reason. There's no reason to be concerned with what people think of you, whether you will be accepted or not, whether people will think that you're really good at what you do. The one person that matters is you. That's the person you want to convince. And that's the person you want to be bold and stand for. You know, little children, they love those boxes, right? They can make them into caves, they can make them into trains, they can make them into cars, you know, or you have a good fine cat and they can make it into a place that they actually think that they're hiding from you. But there comes a time in adulthood with our own spirituality that we need to invite people even into our lives to say, when you see me sounding like I'm in a box, or I'm letting age be my cage, or I'm starting to be limited, or I'm apologizing for myself, please call me. Please call me on my stuff. Reverend Deborah Johnson in Santa Rosa, California, we're on the Association of Global New Thought team together. And she says, you know, there's a big difference between having good intentions, goals and resolutions and plans and those kind of things, rather than living with intent. Living with intent. And she said, think about living with the intent of forgiveness. So you have a 4-year-old, and you're going to invite 15 more 4-year-olds to come to a birthday party for your child. Now, you already know if you have that many little 4-year-olds coming to your house, something's going to be broken. Something's going to be spilled over. They're going to knock something over. It's going to be so chaotic. And yet, at the same time, you have the common sense, right? To live with intent, to know that that's going to happen. The same thing is true when you make a statement for your life. The same thing is true when you make a statement for your community, or how you vote by the way that you live, or what you stand for. You must allow room for a lot of those 4-year-olds that are in the world, that are in 40, 50-year-old bodies, and live with the intent of forgiveness, that when they know better, they'll do better. When they'll know better, they will be better. But until then, you allow yourself to live with the intent that you may even be the change agent and not even be aware that you're doing it. Yes? That energy, that essence, that love force. Here I am, God. Here I am, Lord. What is mine to be today? What is mine to be expressed today? You know, many people are celebrating today, Super Bowl, right? Super Bowl. And you look at these teams that are there, they're not just there for 2 teams to pick that who's going to win. Think about the years that every person there in a uniform, think about what they have done. Think about the investment they have made. Think about the plays they have learned. Think about the other plays they have used when there's opposition. Think about how they have aligned themselves to prepare for what they may face. And we anticipate it, that somebody will do it when it comes to a big game in America called baseball or football or those kind of things. But why do we not expect it when it comes to the one thing that ultimately matters in the big game of life, and that's called our spiritual connection to God? Are we preparing? Do we spend time? Are we getting ready? Do we understand the rules of the playing field? It's called staying the course. It's called continuing to practice. It's called test the universe. With all the things that you face, don't lower your standards. Don't lower your standards. That's why every week I say we are the most innovative, electrifying, energetic spiritual community in the world. Why? Because we're growing into that. Because we're growing into that. When you look in the mirror and go, you're the greatest person I will ever know in my life, and you are phenomenal. You're growing into that. And that little monkey mind might be saying all kind of things. Yeah, but you know you are gay, and you know you are this, and you know you are that, and you know you are that. And you just go, I am here expressing the universe. That is an old story. That is not my story. That is an old story. That is not my story. That is not the energetic story. Yes? Michael Jordan talks about the 9,000 games that he lost. He talks about the 26 times that he was asked to save a game with the final shot, and he missed every one of them. He talks about all the things that he did, and he said, yes, you're right, I failed many times, but that's why I'm a success. That's why I'm a success. You know, there's a big difference between being certified and being dignified. We have so many people in the world that they're certified. They took the course. They have the certificate. They are certified, but are they dignified? Certified is that based on somebody else's existing system, you have been given authorization to be a certain way. Oh, I'm certified. Look, it's on my frame. It's on my wall. I'm certified. I can do this. Yes, absolutely. But are you dignified? Because when you're dignified, you can't do it in the form in which you learned it. You can't teach it in the way that somebody taught you. You've got to go out and expand that awareness to do it your way, to allow that energy and that creativity to come through. You've got to get out of the box. You've got to get out of the box. Somebody was asking me the other day, I understand that the first group you ever had as a minister, there were 7 people there. You know, and the week before you had 60-something when you first opened. And how did that work? And I said, well, 60 of those people were my friends or my colleagues, and the 7 people were really committed to the work in the city that I was going to be in. And I said, but I never made an adjustment. I didn't go, oh, there's just 7 people here. My certificate says I ought to be more successful than that. I talked to those 7 people as if there were 700, as if there were 7,000. Now, they sweated. Yeah, they kept elbowing each other. They were going, gosh, she expecting us to do all that stuff? But I stayed in that space because I went from what I was certified for to what I was dignified to do, that knowing that I had spent my whole life to prepare to stand there in that moment, just like those guys are running out on that field today. It's not like they just signed up in a week. They are getting dignified to what they are facing and what lies ahead. Dignify God. Dignify your Creator. Dignify your life by showing us something we've yet to see. Who are you? And what do you want? And why don't you have it? And what box is in your way? Don't wait to the afterlife. Wait to the life that's happening after this change in your awareness. Don't just get entertained with near-death experiences. Get filled up by near-life experiences. Let the near life experiences call you by your name and stand in that place of glory of what is possible for your experience. So a school teacher was retiring, and the little boy that his dad had a florist shop he bought a box of flowers. And the little girl that her dad owned a candy shop, she bought the teacher a box of candy. And so one little boy walked up, and it was this big case, and the teacher goes to take it, and he goes, "Here, this is my gift to you, and I want you to have it." And it was wet and water, and she goes, "It's champagne? Is it wine? Because it's coming out of the box. It's all wet. But I'm thrilled to take it because at least I'll have a few bottles left." And the little boy looked at the teacher and said, "No, it's a puppy." Be mindful of what you say yes to before you're so quick to accept that box. Bless you. Thank you for coming.
I am Juliana Klinker, the meditation teacher for Hispanic communities and especially for women. I love First Unity Spiritual Campus, St. Petersburg, because this is a place where Reverend Temple Hayes really teaches to women how to dig deeper into their spiritual side. And she's always so funny and so adapted to today's world.
Wow. Aren't you glad you came around today? Whew. I ask you today, have you considered your spiritual journey? Have you considered your spiritual walk? Well, yeah, I meditate. Yeah, I do my prayers. Yes, I do this, that, and the other. But I'm going to ask you in a challenge. Do you give to your spiritual community that feeds you? I ask you today to ask God. I've been part of this spiritual community for a number of years. And I'm speaking to you at home who are watching us online. And maybe I've never gotten involved with giving. Giving is an important part of your spiritual journey. I'm a firm believer and a firm teacher that where you spiritually are fed, that's where you should spiritually give. I will say that one more time. Where you're spiritually fed is where I honestly feel in my heart you should spiritually give. Barnes & Noble selling you books on how to live a better life is not where you're spiritually fed every week. You give them $22.95, all without a doubt. But I ask you, no better time than today to become active in your giving. No better time than today to say, no matter where you are in the world, I have tuned into this ministry. This ministry has touched my life. Will you take the time to answer to God and say, God, thank you for giving me the opportunity to give to a spiritual community such as this. It's not about the pastors and this, that, and the other, the payroll in here. That's not what we actually are teaching. We're teaching for you to enact that giving and receiving. And no matter what spiritual teaching that you follow, Muhammad, Buddha, Jesus, your mamas, it's all about giving and receiving. And we thank you very much for those people who give faithfully. Thank you. And we know that you're blessed. Thank you very much for those people who are part of Club 104. Club 104 is still active. There are businesses still in the area. If you're local and belong to Club 104, there are people who have businesses in the area who are still giving to 104. But I ask you today, in honesty, give as God has led you to give, and the windows of opportunity and the blessings will pour out like you'll never see before. Thank you very much for joining us.
Now, Deborah Mann was supposed to sing this song, but she had to sit this one out. So, here we go. Come on, put those hands together. You see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from the seeds he sowed. If you see your sister falling by the way, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. You gotta try a little kindness, show a little kindness, just shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness, you'll overlook the blindness of the narrow-minded people.
Hi, this is Zion, Director of the Youth Expressing Spirit program here at First Unity, and I have a story about strength. My daughter Lisi, 6 years old, climbed up a tree to the new treehouse that my brother-in-law, her uncle, had just built. Lo and behold, there was missing planks in one section, and she fell through it and hit the ground. My heart dropped because just a moment ago I thought to myself, if that treehouse wasn't finished, someone might fall. And sure enough, she fell. Well, she hit the ground, had a really deep cry. I scooped her up. She shook it off. And then she went about to help her uncle finish the project, which was installing a cargo net underneath the treehouse so that actually you could climb through that hole and sit in there. And sure enough, half an hour later, she was sitting in there snacking and laughing and singing along with her cousins like nothing had ever happened. So let's hear from Reverend Kimberly share a story about strength that she discovered in herself in a moment when she was a young mother in her new business.
So as a single mom, I had 2 little boys that were growing up. I was a business owner. Found myself at the bank getting a small business loan. The banker knew me since I was so high. Opened my first checking account when I was leaving high school going to college. And he said, well, I need you to bring your dad in. So I took Dad in. And Dad co-signed for my first business loan. That's because my business was growing and expanding. I needed to buy some new service trucks. And I needed to go to an auction to buy them because, of course, I wasn't buying them brand new off a lot. I needed a letter from the bank saying that my check was going to be good when I bought these vehicle. So I went into the bank and he said, well, have your dad come on in. And I thought for a moment. And I said, well, sir, with all due respect, I don't think I need my dad. I said, I don't think if it was my brother or a gentleman standing here asking you for a business loan, you'd ask them to bring their daddy in to co-sign. And he said, you're right, so come on in and sit down and let's talk about this loan. So I got that business loan and I was able to expand my business, taking care of 2 growing boys and feeding them. That in itself is an accomplishment, feeding 2 boys.
Thank you, Reverend Kimberly. That story was so inspiring, wasn't it, everyone? So let's take a moment today and see ourselves as strong and courageous. That means you. Everyone out there has God's Spirit inside of them. We would love to hear your stories of strength. Would you please share with us? Go to firstunity.org or go to our Facebook page at Youth Expressing Spirit. We love you and we bless you and we behold the Christ as you.
What an amazing time in spirit we've had with you today. And I know what some of y'all are thinking. Y'all are saying, oh my gosh, Wanda has done gone country. Because yes, she did, and she was fabulous, wasn't she? Yes! Our First Unity voices are amazing. Our band, our new AV team that is so expanded and doing such a wonderful job bringing this broadcast to you in such a professional manner. We are so grateful and blessed. And this Wednesday, we have our entire spiritual leadership team and our First Unity voices coming to you on Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock for our oneness service. So you get to see all of those spiritual leaders and our ministers in training who may not always be up here on the platform. You're going to get to see them on the platform, and they will all be bringing you messages of how love is the answer. So you want to watch that live stream at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. And as Reverend Temple said, be right there on our homepage at firstunity.org, on our Facebook page, on YouTube, or Vimeo, however you prefer to watch. You'll be able to see that. And then Sunday, February 28th, is our Black History Celebration Service. Reverend Wanda Nero Butler is going to be delivering the message. Reverend Christy Hardwick, Reverend Rebecca Mooney are all going to be here sharing with you stories and life experiences, and it's going to be fabulous. Wanda's throwing out some little teasers for you now, and didn't you enjoy it? That video was just heart-touching and amazing. And then next month in March, Reverend Dr. Temple Hayes is going to be teaching a mastermind course. So if you've always thought, what is all this mastermind stuff about? Reverend Dr. Temple is the teacher for you because she is fabulous. It's a 3-part series. You can go right now and register either on the app or on the website for all 3 courses, or you can take them individually if you want. How manifestors manifest. It's going to be awesome.
Reverend Kimberly, thank you so much. And wow, what a day, yes? We are so blessed. What an amazing team that we have. If you would please join me as we stand for our peace song.
With God as creator,
right here and right now. Let us affirm together our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love. The power of God protects us. I am the power. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. For God is amazing. And all the time. God is amazing. God bless you, everyone.